And we're here to talk about 10 ways to tell you're a pro wrestler. Maybe. Maybe.
From a guy who is not a pro wrestler.
This is a meme. I don't know its origins. I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
But it lists 10 things, to tell you're a pro wrestler. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read them to you, and you can either go yay or nay and elaborate if you choose to say that's preposterous or it's right on the money.
Preposterous.
So we're going to start with number 10. Like Casey Kasem, the countdown, starting at number 10. Okay. You begin to refer to commonplace items, i.e. nails, coat hangers, thumbtacks, etc. as gimmicks.
100%. And your spouse will use the term as well, because mine does. You say, get the gimmick over there. And usually they'll know what you're talking about.
If you can't think of a word for something,
everything's a gimmick. No, everything is just a gimmick. I got to write out a check. Give me the gimmick over there. It's the pen. Thanks for the gimmick. I'm telling you, my husband says it all the time. All the time.
It's infectious when you hear it a lot. It really is infectious. And it's true because, I mean, you've said it plenty of times in reference to very small, little, normal, everyday things that we would mention, and it's referred to as a gimmick. So
it's true. That's 100% true. And I would have made that number one because that is 100% true.
I agree. That should be number one.
It should be number one. Every single person that has been in the business uses the term gimmick and their spouses. 100%.
Maybe this isn't in any particular order because I feel like not this one, the next one could be also number one. But this one here, this says male person, but I feel like maybe this could refer to anybody. Any male person, regardless of their relationship to you, is most often referred to as
brother.
Brother. Would you call a girl brother?
No, not really. Yeah, brother. That's I think the gimmick one trumps the brother one. But yeah, everybody, what's up, brother? Hey, brother. Hi, brother. It's it.
Now, do you find it funny that somebody like a Hulk Hogan that's associated with Hulk Hogan, even though it's a general wrestling term?
He's been using it like in promos and just in regular day talk. Like if you see a candid video, what's up, brother? Like it's always been a Hogan thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever called me brother.
Well, you don't call each other sister. You're nothing. Your fellow
the
worker.
Girls, I use the term doll for everyone.
You do. Yes, you do.
Everybody, because my mom always used it. My mom used, and I've done it for years. I picked it up from her, and I remember the first time I called Joey Styles doll, and he was taken aback. Doll, oh my God. And I'm like, I can't call everybody doll.
You get a subtle, oh my God.
He was very, oh my God. He was very, very happy with me calling him doll. But it's just a term of endearment. I think brother is just a universal wrestling term for each other. And I don't think if there's heat, I don't know if two guys that had heat would call each other brother. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe they probably wouldn't. That's got to be really old school guys that hold grudges and know when to hold the word back.
You see, and I feel like if you have heat legitimately, you shouldn't even look at each other. The fake hellos get under my skin. Don't say hi to me if you don't like me, because I know you don't like me. So screw you and screw your fake hello. I don't need it.
That's a great question because I've heard it countless times in shoot interviews. Oh, yeah, I never was really a big fan of the guy. I'd say hi here or there, but nothing really outside of, a handshake. But I didn't really like the guy. Well, if you didn't like the guy, I wouldn't touch him.
Because in wrestling, now I don't know about today because I'm not in the locker rooms today, but, and we talked about this before. In my day, now I sound like I'm 100 years old, but in my day, you needed to go and say hello to every single person. And we're on the road 4 days a week. And every day we get to the building, we're still saying hello.
Right.
Well, I just saw you yesterday. Like, come on. You know what I mean? But like, if you blatantly don't like me, and I know you don't like me, don't give me the bullshit handshake and say hello. You know, I'll be professional and I'll work with someone and I'll never hurt you, even though I hate your guts, kind of thing. But don't give me the fake hello. I would respect you more if you just walked right by me.
Okay.
I hate the fake hello.
What about the dead fish handshake?
The worst. I have told men, shake my hand again. I've literally told men, can you do that again? You get like the new guys that come up. It's like they literally do this. It's the fingers are like this.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. It's ridiculous. Shake my hand like a normal person. Who does that? It's a wrestling thing, and I can't stand. That's another pet peeve of mine. Don't give the worker handshake.
The worker handshake.
Don't do that. We don't like it. I skeeve it. It's stupid. Shake my hand like you would any other person. Who does this? I hate it.
A lot of people apparently, but it's all wrestling related.
Yeah.
How about this? Just back to Hulk Hogan when we said about brother. I mean, the guy's the ultimate worker, no matter what. If it's regular people, television, inside the business. First time I met Hulk Hogan, you could tell I was, starstruck, awestruck by this man I've watched my whole life. Shook his hand. He pulls me in and he goes, "Nice shirt, brother." And you're like, wow, I was wearing Hulk Hogan.
The brother.
And I was like, "He called me brother. I'm his brother." So is that guy over there and that guy over there. So it goes a long way. He really nailed it. He absolutely nailed it.
Nice. See, and that's a memory that you'll have forever.
I absolutely will. All right. The next one. And this is definitely true. And you don't have to even be a worker now because we know so much about it on the outside. You begin to think that every sport is a work.
Yes, true.
That thing happens. You go, obviously, there was something going on there.
You're watching whatever, and you look at your spouse or whoever. You think this is a work? Do you really think boxing? Do you think they know? Do you think, I think I'm privy to a lot of things just being, involved in the business, right? So wrestling wise, but I'm watching all these other things. And I'm like, this has to be a work. I don't believe it. I can't 100%. Now there's certain sports that I feel it can't be. Baseball. How can you control?
Umpires can. They can't control the runs. They can't control what's scored, but they can manipulate balls and strikes, fair and foul, ejecting a guy, saying he's got. There was a controversy a few weeks ago. An umpire thought somebody had a substance on his hat, and they made him take his hat off.
What kind of a substance?
Well, they're trying to break down. They feel that a lot of pitchers are using maybe little sticky substances hidden in places on their person. And they took the guy's cap, and the manager had a fit because this is a guy that ended up literally blowing away everybody the entire inning. And when reached for comment, the player said, "I just like the hat. It was just an old hat."
Wait a minute. Does he touch the hat and then
when you're a pitcher, I mean, look, you move in your sleeves, you move in your belt, you move in your pants, you're touching your leg. Sometimes it's very subtle. They get the ball back and they got their hat. They may go like this across the brim of their hat. And maybe people think they got a little sticky substance. They put it on the ball, better grip, throw your curveball.
Oh. Okay.
But I'm saying the umpires could manipulate it. But, maybe football could be more of a work. Plays going a certain way.
So do you feel like before the game starts, they know who's going to win?
I don't think that, but I think there's directives in certain leagues to give certain teams benefits because it's good for ratings, it's good for revenue, it's good for the overall bottom line of whichever league. Like people thought that about the Patriots, the Lakers, LeBron James. It's always been rumored that the officials, they turn a blind eye to when he fouls, and if he gets glanced by accident, they're like technical foul, throw the guy out of the game.
Interesting. See, I think like a sport like boxing or like an MMA fight can be manipulated easier than a football or a basketball game or baseball game. with boxing, I've heard that, they know who's going to win before they go to the ring. I don't know how true that is. That to me, that's a barbaric sport. More so than wrestling. I mean, talk about head trauma. That's oof. Never
found it interesting.
I used to watch boxing with my dad.
Boxing. I'm sorry, I lost you for a sec. I thought you were talking about MMA. No, boxing, I don't mind. I like old school boxing, like you're saying, watch it with your dad.
Boxing is complete head trauma.
Yeah,
to the head, like that's barbaric to me. But we used to watch it, like it was interesting to me at one point, and then like the more I became involved in wrestling and understood, I'm like, well, is boxing a work? Like, do they know? It makes you think. It makes you wonder.
Guy takes a dive. That's always been rumored. Guy takes the phantom punch, and he's knocked out for 10 minutes, and he.
When Kevin Hogan poked Nash, and Nash
the finger poke of doom, yeah.
Somebody won, yeah. Who knows? I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know.
All right, I say that about reality shows. I can't watch them. If Liz has on the Real Housewives, I'm like,
right?
This makes wrestling look like it's it's not funny. 7th game of the World Series.
That is so funny you mentioned that, because my mom watches like she'll watch the judge shows, Judge Judy, Judge what's his face, Jerry Springer's a judge, all this crazy.
Is he really?
Yeah. And I tell her, Mom, it's a work, and she goes, no, and I go, Mom, it's fake, and she's like, why do you have to ruin everything? You tell me everything's fake. And I go, well, Mom, it's not true. My friends have been on this show as other people, like they give you a fake name, you get into a fake accident, everybody's paid. She gets upset with me because I said, just watch it, enjoy it,
Yeah.
And when I watch reality shows, I don't know how much is work and how much is shoot. It entertains me, and that's what I want. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, they're actors.
Yeah.
So
they're all pearly whites. They all look perfect.
Yeah.
I can't. I really. That's one of the reasons I can't really watch TV anymore, because it's so dominated by reality television. It's all work to me, and I can't find it interesting. If I can't watch wrestling now, I'm not going to sit and watch a reality show.
Reality is my favorite.
It's not the same. I liked it back like in the early 2000s, Temptation Island. I even watched.
You don't watch Big Brother?
No, I don't watch anything. She watches The Real House. She sits right in the couch right behind me here and watches The Real Housewives. I'm usually meandering, doing some business stuff over here, or work, or podcast editing, something. And I told her, I said, I am going to stop commenting, because I don't want you to not enjoy your experience of watching a program. I said, but I can't stomach listening to the show anymore, because it's so fake.
Okay. All right. Well, I love my reality shows. I don't know what's fake and what's real, but I'm captivated by it, and it takes me away for an hour. So I'm good with that.
All right, here's the next one. Excuse me. There is no longer such a thing as a fan. No matter their favorite sport, TV show, or musician, they are considered a
mark.
That is correct.
Am I supposed to be guessing?
No, you're finishing the sentence.
I know all the answers. I kind of I disagree with that in a sense, because I feel like, when you're a heel, you use mark in a negative light. When I do my cameos, I use the term mark a lot as a heel to downgrade people. But in reality, a mark is just a wrestling fan.
I think it's a fan that is made to believe everything that they're seeing. Right?
Not always. Like, I get people coming up to the table at conventions, I'm a huge mark for you. So when they say something like that, that's different. It just means that they like.
They shouldn't be saying it. You're the one who should be saying it about them. They can't classify themselves as a mark for blank.
Why?
Somebody else, because that's the way I interpret the word. Somebody has to say, Francine, you're a Big Brother mark. You can't say, "Oh, I'm a mark for Big Brother." I don't think it goes both ways.
I'm marked out for Big Brother. I'm a Big Brother mark. I love Big Brother. A mark is a huge fan. I don't agree with you on that one.
If somebody comes up and says I'm a big mark for you, I don't think that should apply. I don't. They just say I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of yours.
A mark
Francine.
is a fan.
I know, but I don't
and
feel
technically
like
a mark is a wrestling term. So of course they're going to come at me with a
Right.
wrestling term.
And it should be used by those who are on that
In the
side.
business?
Yes, it should
So
be.
you don't hear fans say gimmick, or you don't hear fans use terms.
I do. I get douche chills because they shouldn't be saying it. I reserve those.
You have to only be a worker or know a wrestler.
Well, that's a fine line. I don't know how to walk. I'm not going to say I'm not guilty of it, but you talk to me enough. I don't just slide in the words that you normally would when we're having a conversation, because it's not it. That's your world. That's your special language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where the illusion and that curtain that I just talked about before, the onion that's peeled, has changed the way people perceive it. I want you to call me the mark for something. I'm not going to go and be like, I'm a mark for you. No, I'm just a big fan. And you can go, Mark, as I walk away. It's not a term of endearment.
Okay. Well, I think we can agree to disagree, because I don't feel like that about it.
Here, okay. The definition of the term mark as it appears on Google, okay?
Google.
The term mark is perhaps the most commonly used term among wrestling fans. To be a wrestling, quote, mark is to be someone who buys into the emotion and characteristics of the storyline and characters. All wrestling fans are marks, some to different levels than others. So there you go. Right. So it's more on your side. I go on the other side.
Okay. I'm right.
But you're the one who's right. I mean, you're from the world. I'm not.
The only thing that bothers me is when people use real names when no one ever calls them by
God, I hate that.
That gets under my skin. Now, obviously, Francine is my real name, so that and I said it before. I hate when people say Franny. No, you don't know me like that. You should that, and people always do it, and I ignore it, but I don't like it. That's a term for like my friends, my family, not somebody I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that aspect, but that really gets under my skin. And like when people call Shane Troy,
oh god,
that bothers me. Like no, Troy, like come on.
That's a douche chill moment. I've been there when it happened. It makes your skin crawl.
I don't like it. So that's really the only thing. Or when a fan just comes up and they act like they know everything about the business, that bothers me, but I just smile.
To me, that's a mark, and that's who I would call a mark.
But I would call that's a smart mark.
Smart mark?
They're smart, but they're really not. They read sheets, so they think they know everything about the business, and you don't, because more so the sheets are bullshit. So
It's really hard to walk that fine line, because people think that just because they've read about it look, I watched since 1987. Okay. That's when I started watching as a fan. In 2006, I started working for WWE. And from 2006 on, I've always had my hand in doing something. Right. But have I ever sat there and declared myself X thing and walked around? Hi, Francine. I remember back in 1999 when you blah, blah, blah. Those people who read those sheets walk that fine line of fantasy reality, and those smart marks are a little wackadoo. With you and Franny, people have said to me, they've referred to you as Franny, and it gives me the douche chills. There's only one person I know that's called you Franny, and he's got a quaff.
I know. And I don't mind that. Like my people that I've known for 20, 25 years, because my family always referred to me as that. It's a nickname. It's just whatever. That I'm okay with. My friends, I'm okay with that. But people I don't know that are just fans, when they say it on Twitter, for whatever reason, it just freaking gets under my skin.
Give them a thumbs up.
I can't. I do. I'm just like, okay, but it annoys me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, how about this one? In any given circumstance, if someone trips, falls, or otherwise hits something in an undesirable fashion, it is a bump.
Say it again.
Okay, I stumbled, so I have to read it again.
Okay.
In any given circumstance, if someone trips, falls, or otherwise hits something in an undesirable fashion, it is a bump.
100%. I
As
took a bump
described.
at Disney World.
There you go. Doesn't say it's described in your Disney trip.
Yes. Yeah, I did. Rarely do we say that person just fell. Oh, that person just took a bump. Yeah.
It could be the hot dog guy. It could be a fan. It could be your kids.
All you have
It
to
could
do
be
is
anyone.
fall. If you fall, you took a bump.
It could be the lady on the roller skates at Sonic that fell over
matter.
with the tray. You know, she took a bump.
Jerry and I were on the phone, and Jerry says, I took a bump. I was on the ladder fixing a light, and I took a bump off the ladder, and I landed. And I said, yeah, I took a bump over my husband's gym equipment. I fell on my bad hip on the concrete, and I just laid there. And we both were just beyond pissed at ourselves for bumping on concrete in our garages.
You try to go into like safe mode of try to fall backward.
Well, Jerry did. Jerry said I tried to take a back bump, but I said no. I said I couldn't even twist my body. I fell right on my bad hip, which now it kills me. But
well, he's got a bad neck. He shouldn't be falling in.
I know. I think the rung on the ladder wasn't locked.
Oh, that's
and
terrible.
He just fell right off it. And I was like, we're so old. Like, what's going on?
I would choose to think he recovered quickly and then did his Jerry Lynn pose afterwards.
And then he would die on his chest.
All right. Pain medication is part of your daily regimen.
Yeah. Some guys, take pain pills, obviously, but ibuprofen, Aleve, they're all in everyone's house for sure.
Okay.
Alcohol. Sometimes that helps. I don't know.
This one may not apply any longer. A good deal of your wardrobe consists of articles made of spandex.
Yeah, well, no. Well, I do wear yoga pants a lot. So, yeah, I will say yes. But spandex was my friend in the 90s. And it kind of still is, And thank God, I mean, I've gained weight, but I'm not to the point where I can't rock a pair of spandex to go to a Target or Walmart or something. I could still wear it and not be embarrassed. So I'm good.
I don't think I've ever worn spandex in my life.
No, I like it. It breathes, stretches. It's good. It's my friend.
Although I would like to invest in some sort of bodysuit for the summer months coming up.
You should get a singlet for your pool time.
That should. That would be great.
That would be great.
Okay, two more. Well, this one doesn't apply technically to females, although females are referenced. You shave your legs more often than females.
Wrestlers tend to shave their bodies. Yes. Men shave their underarms, their legs, their assholes, their private parts, their birds, their butts, their chest, their nipples. They shave it all. Most. Some don't. They're very hairy.
Some is part of their gimmick.
Some it is, yeah. But yeah, the guys always. I mean, girls, we had to always shave. Obviously, once a girl come out there with hairy legs.
You don't need to name names.
Oh,
was there anybody who had that kind of problem where they didn't keep up with those sort of things and it was a little gross?
Who, the girls?
The girls.
I don't think so.
Everybody was pretty good with keeping up with their hygiene.
It was the 90s. So
you don't need to explain.
Bushes were kind of popular back then. But if you were wearing, if you're wearing something small, you need to trim or shave. So I just went bald. So nothing, if something moved, you wouldn't see anything or nothing, It was easier that way.
All right. There you go.
Baldy.
You were an official member of the Baldies without being a member of the Baldies.
That's right.
All right, here's number one.
Okay.
You have been beaten, bruised, scarred, taken advantage of, twisted, stretched, abused, and battered more than most humans could ever bear. You've traveled hours upon hours on little to no sleep, week in and week out. You've been cheered, booed, and everything in between just to come back and do it all over again, and you wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, but yeah, he's got a point. Of course. You end one loop and you couldn't wait to come back and get on the road for the next loop. So, yeah.
Were there times where the time between the end of one trip and the beginning of the next one felt like no time passed, like you were just right back on the road, like no?
Oh, yeah, every week.
It was every week?
Every week, because we were only, at one point we were doing 4 shows a week. And then I was on the road with WWE for 5 days. So ECW, you get home, you'd have a day and a half that you were home. You have just enough time to jump in the tanning bed, get your nails done, pack a bag, do your laundry, say hi to your family, and then you'd be headed to the airport again. I loved it. I couldn't wait for it. Now, WWE, I wanted to stay home. I loved when Howard Finkel would call me and say, "Oh, Francine," like he would always be scared. Yes, he would always be scared to tell me. I'd be like, "Howard, am I staying home?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Yes," because I knew I was getting paid on Monday. That check was coming, and I didn't have to go anywhere because I didn't enjoy it. So it was great. But ECW, I enjoyed it, so I didn't mind getting on the plane and not sleeping and all the stuff that gentleman said. It was true.
So this list wasn't bad.
No, it's pretty accurate.